Welcome to the Chain Out podcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Daryl.
That's right, Jeremy and your favorite co-host, Daryl, here for Chain Out episode 75 of season 2.
75.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
3/4 of the way to 100.
Exactly.
Really, 100? We're going to get to triple digits? Do you think we'll make it?
Well, I've put up with you for this long, so I think another 25 episodes isn't going to hurt.
I don't know if we're going to put up with this beard for much longer.
I know. I was just going to comment, I used to be known as the one with the beard, but now people are starting to notice it more.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it because soon enough it will be gone. It was a 1-month beard. We've talked about it enough. You've seen what it looks like. Get ready to say goodbye to it.
Really?
Yep. We're going to get there.
You're just now getting to the soft phase. You've gone past the scratchy, itchy phase. Now it's got the length in it.
I won't get the enjoyment side of it, hey?
No.
But you know what people are enjoying right now, Daryl?
What?
There's 2 things they're enjoying.
You looking at the camera.
No, I'm looking at you.
Okay.
One of those things has to do with you.
Right.
And this is why I think you need to rename it, because people are really, really enjoying the BBYCMTTNHC.
I don't think I've ever done anything called a BBYCMTTNHC.
Well, when I see it says birdie before you can move to the next hole challenge.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, or birdie or die, whichever.
Yeah, birdie or die.
But man, people have been loving it. And where are you at right now? What was today's episode?
Today's was hole 9.
Hole 9.
Yeah.
Yes.
Over a week.
And do we spoil it or do we not spoil it?
No, it's been out for
half a day,
12, 15 hours or so. I think we can spoil it. I mean, if you want to go back and watch it quickly, it's a short one.
Yeah.
But just to give a recap, started at Hermitage, hole 1. Cannot move forward to the next hole until I birdie.
Or BBYCNHC for short.
Using my full bag and started off strong. Hole 1, bit hard to get. Took me 3 or 4 attempts. Hole 2, kind of the same. Hole 3 kind of went downhill. Or sorry, hole 3 was okay. Hole 4, it was a long hole walking backwards and forwards.
Right.
5 went good. Then we came to 6.
Okay. Yes.
And if you know 6 at Hermitage, it's a dog leg left.
Hard dog
leg left, blind with power lines.
Yeah, so many guy wires. It's like a spider's web.
I think it was 284, and I put it out, and Kristen Swirls said it plays way longer than 284.
I've also heard someone say it's most 99% air or something.
It is 99% air,
yeah.
But that one, that one got the better of me. That one took me 2 days to complete. Probably, I think I got up to like attempt 30, 31.
Wow.
So it took me 31 attempts trying to birdie it, but who would have thought a forehand mamba? And actually what I've been doing is I've been asking for little tips and tricks in the comments on the different videos.
Right.
Asking people like, how do you play this hole? Now, Tim Plamondon actually didn't throw a Firebird.
Oh.
He said he likes that hole for destroyer. He throws it about 3/4 of the way up the trees.
Okay.
Hyzer, close to the trees on the left-hand side to get round, give it some height. And that's his best option. Now, Tristan Piska.
Okay. Another great player.
Kind of used the same theory as what I was using for my forehand. He throws something flippy on hyzer, so it's enough to get around the corner, but then flips up straight and then pushes forward to the basket.
Gotcha.
Whereas I'm throwing understable to get around the corner, but I'm doing forehand, he's doing backhand. So same kind of principle. Had a few attempts at birdie.
Yes, that was like your fall to the ground. I think everybody was falling down with you.
Yeah, a few attempts, few knockbacks, one chain out.
Yeah,
finally got it. But then from then on, it's been a breeze. Hole 7, 1 attempt.
Wow.
Hole 8, 1 attempt.
Hole 9.
Hole 9, which was today's, 2 attempts. And as Thomas Grumman pointed out in the comments, my second shot, which was a forehand racer. How often I went long of the basket,
which never happened.
It was an ace run. Yeah. So Wally's way tomorrow, hole 10 at Hermitage, double, double Mando.
Yes, that one will be exciting because I know you can make that one probably more times than not, but I know I've had a lot of trouble on that one, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah.
But so people can't get enough of that. Keep that coming out, and we're going to get more content like that for you, those kind of short type snip stories, or what do you want to call those? Like those short series.
Short reels.
Yeah, and probably like a series like that. But the other thing people have seemed to be interested in is our chain out battles.
Yeah.
And now you've been pretty much spanking me with the chain out battles. But this weekend we went out again. And I'd like to say it was close, and it kind of was at the start.
It was for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, don't forget. But yeah, at the start it was pretty close, and I had an early lead on you on that chain out battle.
There we go.
But then we got to the easiest hole on the course, or one of the easiest holes on the course, and everything went sideways. We got to hole 5, that nice, easy par 3, one that you've aced.
Yeah, my first ever ace on that hole. And last time we did a chain out battle, we got to a point where I was spanking you quite well, as you put it.
Oh, yeah.
You said that I was feeling bad, which I was, and I didn't mean it in a condescending way, but I was like, Jeremy, what do you need from me? Like, how can I help you out? On hole 5, I said to you, well, actually, where I landed and where you landed, we both had a long putt for for birdie.
Yeah.
And I just pitched it up under the basket, and you said, "Oh, you're not running it?" I said, "Not in this wind." And then what did you proceed to do?
I ran it long, and then ran it long, and then hit cage.
Yeah.
And sure enough, my par easy turned into a double bogey.
Well, yeah, you birdied. Your birdie. Yeah, you had a birdie look. You could have laid up for the par. And you double bogeyed it.
Yeah. So anyways, I did start to catch up, and towards the end, it got a little interesting. I had a couple good holes. You had a couple mistake holes. But at the end, I finished with a +4. You finished with a +2. You win another birdie challenge. Or sorry, not birdie challenge. Another chain out battle.
Yeah.
And now we have rewards and punishments.
Exactly. Well,
is it really?
I wouldn't really call it a punishment.
Okay.
Yeah. But we have something, we have, instead of league tags,
Yes.
we're not playing for those. We're playing for the chain out battle tags.
Right.
We don't have them with us, I'm afraid. I left my
No,
cart in the.
but it's a collection of like
Check.
26 stuffy emoji keychains,
Yeah.
and you thought they were a little bigger than maybe you thought they were.
Yeah,
weren't they?
I thought maybe they were like maybe 1 inch across. I think they're like 2 or 3
Yeah.
inches. They're quite big.
So you have, what do you have? Do you have cool guy or something like that, or winky guy?
I have cool winky guy, I think. Yeah.
Cool winky guy, and I've got happy poop. So that's what I have. I had that on my card at League last night, so wearing that proudly, and can't wait to challenge you again and hopefully give you a emoji of choice.
Yeah. So are you not just going to give me your one? You're going to pick a different one for
Oh, I'm
me?
picking a different one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
start thinking about it.
I wouldn't think too hard.
Well, besides that, the leagues, we know that in Edmonton, most of the leagues started last week, but there is one league that's starting this week. And I think you know a little bit more about it. It started tonight, actually.
It's starting tonight. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Wednesday first official Edmonton PDGA sanctioned league. Josh Smith is running it. It starts this tonight, 6 p.m. shotgun start.
Mhm.
Register online, or you can show up and just pay, but you have to sign a waiver first because first 3 weeks are going to be out at Niskapasquak.
Oh, I can't
Yeah.
wait to get back out there.
Yeah,
again.
I mean, the last couple of times we've been talking about it, we thought, well, maybe it's still not trampled in enough. Maybe it's because it's not a heavily played course, so
Mhm.
the snow was still pretty thick, but
I think it's ready.
there
now.
ain't going to be no snow out there now.
No.
But yeah, PDJ sanction lead, first 3 weeks, Niskapasquak. Great for anyone who's looking to continue to get ratings,
Mhm.
or even if you're just a beginner and you want to, have a feel for what a sanctioned event is like. Sign up on edgar.ca.
Yeah. And from what I understand too, is this league is set up so it's almost like a cost per evening setup. So you could just drop in for one
Yeah.
night, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. And then the other thing happening this weekend is the Edmonton Tag Team Championships.
Yeah.
And these two guys will be there. And we
Under
had,
what name?
well, we tried. We looked. There's a lot of amazing team names there, but I think because it was right recently before we registered, we were talking about how we kind of seem like Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets,
Right.
sitting up in the balcony laughing and that and guffawing at each other. I think who was it?
That was
Who
Jeremy
the-
Gauthier.
Yes.
Who said, yeah.
It wasn't
It wasn't that
all,
bad. Yeah, it wasn't all bad.
Yeah, whatever it was.
It wasn't that bad. It was all bad.
Yes. So we went out after we played our chain out battle, we played a doubles round, our first doubles round together at Rundle. We shot a -7 with a couple extra practice shots,
Mhm.
which I think is the best round we can expect. So we're going to put it out to the listeners here that if you took -7 and -7 over 2 rounds, -14 is the best we could do.
Yeah.
I think we should set the over under at about -10.
Right.
So listeners, what's your bet? Put some something out there of what you think we can do. Can we do better than -10? Or are we going to, no way, we're going to be worse than -10. The nerves of the tournament are going to get to us. Or
Yeah.
what will it be?
I just want to give a quick shout out to the chat because we had a new listener in the chat here.
Mhm.
And, we often, when we get new guests on that we're going to interview, sometimes we'll get these new guests that are, maybe friends or family or things like that.
Yeah.
But we got Doc in the chat, and he
Oh.
said, why I'm blessed to be in North Carolina, USA.
Well,
We got
welcome.
disc golf year round. So we just thought we'd give a shout out to him.
Yeah. Thanks for joining,
Welcome, Doc.
Doc. Appreciate that for sure.
Yeah.
So to finish off the tag team championship,
Sorry.
we'll be out there Saturday for 2 rounds. Come
Mhm.
and join us if you want. We could have the cheer team. Maybe that will help us. Or do you think that would hurt us?
As long as you don't
Chain out.
chain out when we chain out quite often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So another thing too is I told you, and I want to get through this. We got to get to the guests. So let's get through the top of show a little quicker. I'll keep
Okay.
it going. But when we went out to, when I went down to Calgary, I had a chance to play with Amber Chason,
Mhm.
Alex Penny. We already said he's the nicest guy in disc golf.
Yeah.
I think we could pretty much use as many adjectives as we want.
Insert positive adjective. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would insert generous as well. So I played with him. He is sponsored by Elevation Discs. He gave me one of these really cool Elevation Discs minis. It's a soft, rubbery one. It's got an eagle on it. It's a mini, and it turns upside down, and it's a kneeling pad. Really cool. He's always
Sweet.
got something for you. He's a
Yeah.
nice guy. But he also told me
He doesn't always have something for you. Don't just walk up to him and say, "What have you got?"
What do you got for me, buddy? It's usually a kind word, so he's always got something.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he had mentioned that Top Link Disc Golf out of Ontario,
Right.
Barrie, I believe, was pushing out EV7 putters, which is my favorite putter and who I'm an ambassador for, right?
Yeah.
So he's pushing out those putters for $5 a putter. So I kind of stocked up.
Right.
And
You got it for $5 a putter,
yeah,
and it's your brand.
exactly. So I stocked up. They came in this week, played last night at League, had a great round. And I used to have putters with just the EV7 stamp on them.
Right.
But not only were these things $5,
Yeah.
but they're different colors and they got different stamps. So I got one with like this really cool Thought Space spider on it.
That's awesome.
Got this other one, another Thought Space stamp, which is kind of a Mandela or a mandala or that type of thing. And I got a Birdie Brigade as well. So if anybody out there wants to be an EV7 putter like me,
Is that it?
Top Link's got them. Yeah, I just got other colors.
Nice.
That's cool.
Like you said, you don't often see EV7 putters in colors. They're normally just white
Yeah,
with blue writing.
that's right.
Blue
Yeah, it's
stamp.
either white, there's blue, sometimes green, but that kind of thing. So that was cool. $5 putters. That was awesome. But we have actually got our own disc golf store sponsor, don't we?
We do.
We do. We're sponsored by BR Disc Golf. And if you go out to BR Disc Golf and you check out and you use the code CHAINOUT, you'll get 10% off. We thank Brendan for sponsoring us and helping us out this year. And we found out from him tonight that
Yeah. So he's got a new drop. They should be on the line by the time the episode is done. But he's got a new Prodigy drop. So if you head over to the website, brdiscgolf.com, you'll see. Oh, I knew I'd get it wrong. I just push the other button here.
you'll see some.
See the new Chantal Badinsky stamped disc and all the other new Tour Series discs from Prodigy as well.
Yeah. So check that out. And remember, that's code CHAINOUT. You can also use that code at Cardinal Disc Golf and get 10% off. And that'll get you a lot of cool threads or hats like the ones that we're wearing today.
Give me a second, Jeremy. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's that one. And then also with that, you can use the code CHAINOUT on Chains, the disc golf board game, and get 25% off. Or you can use the code COP15, COP15 at the Goat Towel and get 15%.
15%
Yeah.
off. Funny that.
Yeah, off of your Goat Towel, your custom Zuka cart plate, anything like that. So that's pretty cool.
There you go.
That's the top of the show. We appreciate you guys. Thanks for supporting us. Join us after the show for Patreon. We're doing something different tonight on the Patreon side of things on Around the Basket. We're going to have a guest that we've been trying to get on for a long time.
She's been on our list for quite a while.
Oh, but before that guest, tonight on the Patreon side.
That guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the Patreon side, join us because we're going to be doing a cool thing tonight. We're doing a second interview. You can join us. We won't tell you who that is, but you can join us. Go to check that out. There's a free link, everything else. But I want to get to tonight's guest, and that's why I'm rambling so quickly.
Let's go for it.
All right.
I can stop pushing buttons.
So tonight's guest hails from the nickel capital of the world. That's right, Sudbury, Ontario. She's been a PDGA member since 2021 and has an impressive 35% career tournament win rate. She started her 2025 FPO season with a win at the Kings Forest Open and earned a third place finish at the Project 15 Open this past weekend. Join us in welcoming Alicia Hums to the show.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Yeah.
We're doing well. Alicia, it's so crazy at the start of these episodes. We have so much we want to say and we try to pack it into such an amount of time there because we know we want to get to the guest. That's the exciting part of the show. So here we are.
I was so happy to just sit and listen. That was okay. We had some fun battles out there on the course.
Oh, we always try to, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a little friendly rivalry.
Yeah. And now
we always try and be positive on the course, and we never like to, we're not so much of the smack talk. We always try and pump the other person up. So yeah.
There's a bit of that for sure. The other thing too, now that we have this program that we use, we have a green room and we've really tried to stock it well for you. We hope you realize all the nice things we had back there. Daryl's been saying the blue M&Ms that we've been putting in a bowl, and
that's what we had last time. That's what was the request. Yeah.
So hopefully that was okay back there for you while you were waiting.
They were great.
Oh, good. Well, Alicia, we were excited to have you on the show because you first hit our radar last year because with our podcast, we started doing A-tier fantasy picks shows where we followed every Canadian A tier and picked 3 MPO players and 3 FPO players, and they got points for us, and we saw how that went. And you just kept showing up on the top of the leaderboard all the time, and you were picked almost every single, well, I wouldn't need to say almost. She was picked every single tournament she was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you really got onto our radar at that point. So you had a good season last year. It was exciting to watch.
Thanks for the confidence. There were definitely some times when I didn't perform so well. I was like, "Oh, sorry, team. It's not bad."
Oh, well, I think we're going to be excited to see what happens for 2025 for
Yeah,
sure.
we definitely got some big plans happening this year. So
It's going to be bigger and better. Daryl's been doing so much background for it. So what we like to do after those episodes is we'll get the tournament director on and try to get the FPO winner and the MPO winner. So I'm sure you might end up on the show again at some point this year. Hey.
yeah.
Keep our fingers crossed. I hope so.
Yeah. Well, we want to do a little geography lesson for our listeners. So for those who don't know, Sudbury is up on the Canadian Shield, and it's just over 4 hours away from Toronto. It's also 4 hours away from Project 15, where you were on the weekend, and probably on average 4 hours away from all of your tournaments. So is that a drive that you get used to, or is it just like the passion of your passion for disc golf that gets you back in the car for every weekend?
Probably a bit of both. Honestly, I don't mind driving. It's fun to just be behind the wheel. It's not too bad. The excitement about our road trip is that highway down to Toronto only has about 70 kilometers. That is 2-lane. The rest is 4-lane. So we're like, just come on, get that last 70K done. So 4-lane the whole way. But no, yeah, unfortunately, that's just the reality of where I'm located. Everything's a bit of a trek for us, but it kind of makes it that much more fun, that much more exciting. The community in Ontario is amazing. Everyone knows how much time we spend just traveling to these tournaments, and we always have people willing to host us, give us a place to stay, offer to just go out for dinner, give us something to do when they know we're not close to home.
Right.
Yeah. So speaking of close to home, when you back in Sudbury, where do you normally play?
Yeah,
Jamie did a bit of research. Probably Lions Club.
that's right. Yeah, like right now we have one course, the Lions Club of Sudbury. We also have it's currently a 22-hole course,
Okay.
and we have a small little 6-hole pitch and putt at a park called Kiwi. But super exciting. I'm one of 5 directors of a new registered not-for-profit organization called Nickel City Disc Golf. We just
Okay.
launched a couple months ago, and we are in the process of installing a second course on a ball golf course for this year. Yeah, so that will probably be where I'll be playing more often than not once that opens up. But yeah, I'm super excited. The disc golf scene in Sudbury is amazing. We've got a great community. The people are awesome, and they're dedicated. We have players that are there 24/7, 365, regardless of the weather, regardless of the snow. Players are out there. So part of Nickel City Disc Golf's sort of goal is to provide more courses for the community. So we have the golf course, and I'm working with the city to potentially get a third course opened for us, which would be pretty huge.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. How far along in the planning stages are you with the disc golf course? Have you got the layout kind of set out yet?
Yeah, we've mapped it on UDisc. We have it up on our website. I actually just walked it yesterday, and we flagged a bunch of trees that need to be removed to open up some of our tee shots and things. And right now we have a May 10th and 11th workday scheduled. So fingers crossed, spring comes and we lose what snow is remaining, so we can get out on the course and it dries up and we can get those tee pads and baskets installed.
Nice.
Yeah, fantastic. What sort of tee pads are you putting in?
We've got turf tee pads. We're really lucky. The ODSA donated some turf from unfortunately a course down in Whitby area closed.
Okay.
So the Ontario Disc Sport Association acquired both the baskets. I think they purchased both the baskets and the tee pads, and We did another trip. This is a couple weekends ago, actually. We had snow here, and probably the closest course is in Midland, which is just over 2.5 hours for us.
Okay.
And so on the Saturday, Thomas, my husband, and I did a day trip down to Midland, played all day, came home, got home at about 11 p.m. And then 5 a.m. Sunday morning, we loaded up a vehicle with 7 other people and went down to Whitby to get those tee pads.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and it's really cool to hear about this course that's going to be coming in. And we've heard when we talked about nationals and we were talking to Daryl Banks and to Kevin about Newcastle, they really found a way. We understand that they worked the disc golf course and the ball golf course together, that they can be played at the same time and players can be on without really interfering with each other. Is that the kind of method that you're trying to approach on this course?
It is. That's the goal. Because it's just sort of our first time, we are starting with some like restricted access. It'll be after the last golf card goes out. So 6 p.m. Friday, Sunday, Mondays right now. We're hoping after that it goes well. We see that there aren't any conflicts with the golfers, and then we'll hopefully get more time available for us then. But yeah, we walked it with the golf course manager. He's super excited. He's never disc golf, but we kind of got him on the train. He's been watching disc golf and he's like just super excited about it. So hopefully everything runs smoothly and we'll be able to open up more time slots. But yeah, we're in the rough a lot. The first few holes were like, you can't even tell we're on a ball golf course. Like there's so many trees and it's so technical, which is good. It's a happy mix.
That's cool. And now, so far as you've started and you've got that design, as we're kind of maybe we're almost given a sneak preview of this course, eh, Daryl?
Yeah.
That was a nice addition.
Yeah.
Do you have some signature holes or something that you've designed where you're like, this is going to be the piece de resistance of this course?
We have a couple. So this golf course is actually located just outside of Sudbury, like 5 minutes. It's in a small town called Coniston. The golf course is called Twin Stacks, as it's on an old smelter ground. So there are like 2 stacks on it. So there are a couple baskets and a couple tees where you're kind of standing and the twin stacks are behind you. So we're trying to decide which one of those will likely be that signature hole. But
nice.
Yeah.
It's good to have lots of options. I think that means there are some good holes out there.
There you go. Well, and also too, when we were looking and you had said you go down to Midland, which you said was 2.5 hours away.
About, yes.
Yeah. Well, so
we have to go around the water. So it.
Oh, gotcha. Because I was looking at UDisc and I thought, is North Bay or Perry Sound close enough, or are the courses there just not up to speed right now?
Actually, yeah. North Bay is the closest. It's about an hour 45.
Okay.
We're at that time of year where I'm so over the snow.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah. Ready for the grass. So that was why Midland's the closest south course to us.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, it's as close as you can get and not have snow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Alicia, at the start of our podcast, we like to find out how our guests got into disc golf, but we do it a little differently here. Rather than just ask you, we come up with a possible origin story for you based on a movie. You and the listeners try to figure out what movie we are referencing, and then we'll get you to tell us the real story and see if it was even in the vicinity. So if you're ready, here we go.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Maybe when you were young, you were fascinated by the world around you, whether it was the magic of how you could travel over radio waves, or of how a person could jump from a plane, soar from the sky, and with the pull of a cord float softly to the ground. You were surprised when you learned you possessed your own magic and were being sent to a special school called Discourse. Daryl and I couldn't keep it together for this one. So,
I knew it was coming.
to hone your skills. Others envied you when you were chosen to be part of the Huttendor House. We got this, Dale. We can get through this one.
Go for it.
You learned of the magic of flight by throwing and casting discs through the air in beautiful S-shaped flights. You grew up to play and teach others about disc golf, And when people see all your podium finishes, they wonder what tricks you have up your sleeve. Now, maybe that isn't quite how you got into disc golf. So why don't you tell us how it really happened?
I like it. So this is, I'm always like, oh, it's so funny. This is so embarrassing to admit. So, um, I was very opposed to throwing frisbees for a long time. In high school, I played rugby, and
Okay.
shout out to my rugby coaches who are rock stars. They always used to say, frisbees are for dogs. Yeah, I'm a rugby player. That sounds right. Okay, so so that was my opinion of frisbees for a long time. And back in 2019, I my then fiance Thomas Hums was like, "Hey, I'm playing Ultimate. Do you want to give it a go?" And I'm like, "Well, there isn't any rugby in Sudbury. I haven't really played any soccer. Sure, let's give Ultimate a go." And I was super nervous. I always used to say, why do I want to throw something that doesn't go where I throw it? This is how I felt about throwing discs. But I was like, I can run around a field, I could try and catch it and like pass the disc to someone nearby, just dump it. Sure, we could do that. And I ended up really loving Ultimate. So I
Right.
got into Ultimate a bit for a couple years. We played on Sudbury's touring team. We're fairly new. We weren't crazy competitive with anything, but we did some trips and that was a ton of fun. Meanwhile, we maybe play disc golf once a month, and it was just sort of a casual outing we did with some teacher colleagues that actually introduced Thomas to the sport originally. And then when COVID hit, we were like, what are we going to do with our time? There was no Ultimate, there were no tournaments we could play, and we just sort of decided that disc golf was going to take over our lives, and really it has. And now we can say I am teaching the skills and logic of flight.
There you
That's
go.
awesome. See, it
Yeah.
all ties
Yeah,
together.
there you go. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was, Jeremy. Yeah. So do you still play Ultimate now, or is it just purely disc golf?
Pretty recreationally, I'll play pickup throughout the winter, and this summer I'm gonna play just like a Wednesday. Sudbury Ultimate Club has a league, and just play with that. It's mostly my cardio. I'm not really good at running on treadmills or bike rides. It's not my thing, not my jam. So
That's fair.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you found too, like we've talked to a few people who have played Ultimate and played disc golf as well. Do you find that it's easy to switch from the different types of discs? Has playing disc golf improved your throwing in Ultimate at all?
Yeah, the backhand I struggle with. But I'm like, oh gosh, whenever I go into back to Ultimate, I'm like, I'm a disc golfer. I don't know what I'm doing. Just like claim oblivion. It's good. We've got a pretty small community in Sudbury, and they all know I'm a disc golfer, not an Ultimate player. So if I miss a shot or something, they're like, "Oh, if there were chains there, you would have made it." I'm like, yeah, stop moving around. This isn't working for me.
Yeah. I can't remember who we had on, but we were speaking to somebody. It was brought up by one Sam in the chat that that's always the progression. People start off playing Ultimate and then they progress into disc golf, but it doesn't go the other way around.
Right.
People don't start off in disc golf and then end up in Ultimate. And I think I forget who we were talking to, but they were like, "Yeah, playing Ultimate with a destroyer is probably not a good thing."
Yes, that's it exactly. Yeah. But maybe if they gave you a glitch, right? That might be okay.
That's true. I'm like
Yeah.
terrified of catching disc golf discs. I'm like, that is not an Ultimate disc. I don't want
Yeah.
to catch it. I don't care. I don't care if it's a little putter pass. No, don't throw it at me.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, on top of that, Alicia, when we do our research and prepare these crack, is it crack? Is that good? Crack pot? No, that's not good.
You're a crack.
But when we prepare these origin stories, we do some research and we try to find out a little bit about our guests. And one of the things I noticed was that you spent some time on the airwaves. You were on the radio before and you did celebrity meet and greets and such.
I did pick up on that in your story. Yeah. So before this podcast, I mentioned I don't have a hard time talking. So when I was in university, one of my it was started as a summer job and then continued for several years, was one of the sort of promotion it was the Girls of Summer was the official tag we had. So it was a super sweet gig. We were part of the radio promotions team, and we basically we got like our own car for the summer, and we just got to drive around and check out all of the events happening in Sudbury. And yeah, some of that included sort of the meet and greet. So we got to do lots of backstage stuff whenever we had some good performers in town. We basically just got to go to all the fun events we'd want to go to and get paid to do it and get paid to chit chat. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
it was fun. Yeah.
And did you have any like good stories? Is there someone where it was like, I can't believe I met that person? Or, you know, being Sudbury, being smaller, sometimes like Edmonton, we get some bigger names, but not always the big names. So
Yeah, like one of my favorite bands that made it here was the Glorious Sons. So I was pretty pumped to see them and like organize the meet and greets and like take a selfie with the band. I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah.
And then probably one of the bigger bands, I'd say, that more people are aware of was the Sheepdogs. So I actually introed the Sheepdogs on stage, like give it up for the band and the crew that are coming out. That was pretty cool.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if we take that though and transition it over to the disc golf side, then now I know you are kind of almost a celebrity of your own here, at least to us and in Canada as an FPO player who's really rising to the top. But if you were down and you were at one of the big disc golf events in the States, is there a celebrity meet and greet that you would want with any of the players down there?
Gosh, it's kind of funny. When I worked with the radio, I realized, okay, all these celebs are just people. And we could just like so I kind of realized like, okay, I could just like chit chat with you like any other person. And I think that's actually a really great skill I've brought with me through things like disc golf now, where I meet some pros to me where I'm like, oh my gosh, I idolize you in the way you perform. And I can like have those real conversations, and it's not just like, take my picture, give me your it's like, okay, teach me how to be like you.
Yeah. Do you so I'm gonna name drop a couple here, Jeremy.
Okay.
So last week we got to interview Nate Sexton as part of Smith Lake Disc Golf Camp. When we were talking to him, it was, okay, Nate, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna ask you this question. We talk to him. Okay, thanks for your time, Nate. We hang up. Then it's like me and Jeremy look at each other, we're like, we just interviewed Nate Sexton. Is that the same with you? Like, you can keep it level-headed. You know they're just a real person. You talk to them calmly, but then after they walk away, it kind of sinks in a bit that you just interviewed and spoke to that person.
Yeah, absolutely. You're like, was that real? Did that just happen?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's super cool. I was scrolling through, saw Nate Sexton, and it's fun. I'm at a loss for words right now. I think I'm gushing over this.
Yeah, no, that's good. And that's really for us too, is where we're at this point, is we've had a chance and I think we're feeling better about it. We've met Colleen, we've met Thomas, we're meeting you tonight. It's getting to be a little more, but I'm sure if we were down and I don't know if it was Kristen or Simon or something, it might be a little harder to keep it together as it feels like you got to work your way up the ladder that way. Hey.
Absolutely. I Thomas Gilbert has been in Sudbury here or there. He actually was doing some schooling up here before, and so the first couple of times I met him, definitely I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And like you slowly build up and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
what's up, Thomas? He and I did he gave me some tips and tricks this past off season, and that was probably good. That was probably what like finally made me feel like, okay, we're good. I can just have a casual conversation.
That's awesome.
Yeah, good stuff.
So Doc's in the chat again.
Okay.
And he's come up with a good idea, Jeremy.
What's that?
So because we're on the west coast of Canada,
Mm-hmm.
we know we've got all the pros in on the east coast. We don't get a chance to get out there as much as we'd like. He says, let me just move this out of the way. Maybe ask Alicia to interview some pros for you that she's got experience and gives her a reason to talk to them.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, there we go.
You can have our Eastern correspondent.
Yeah. So now with all your experience, yeah, that's great.
There you go.
But then, yeah. So Alicia's going to come do that for Chain Out, you think? Maybe
we'll talk.
We'll talk. That's enough. Yeah.
Good.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. Well, the other one too we wanted to touch on when we were talking earlier about Sudbury is you guys have a fairly big tournament that happens that year and brings a lot of people up from the rest of Ontario, and that's the Blueberry Brawl, is it?
That's right. Yeah, the Blueberry Brawl is our annual tournament that happens at the Lions Club course.
Okay.
Because there are 22 holes, we can have 88 players, and it has filled every year for the last 3 years.
Wow.
And people are just like, it fills quick, like within a couple minutes. It's like, okay, if registration opens at 8 o'clock, you better have your alarm set for 7:55. Make sure your PayPal's logged in, your disc golf seeds all ready to go, so you can get a spot.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. And part of like Nickel City Disc Golf's initiative is to organize more tournaments in Sudbury. We actually have a tournament that we're running in November of this coming year once the golf season's finished. And we're actually super happy to announce for our first year tournament on a course that does not yet even exist. We after 7 days, we are at capacity. So
Wow.
That's awesome.
Ontario disc golf is just amazing. We've had so many people reach out and just talk about how they're so excited to support this initiative and how it's about time Sudbury got another course and they're just excited for us.
That's great.
It just speaks to how, like you had said, you have some really strong members of the community there, 24/7 players and that. But it just shows too is that what kind of name you're making in the entire province, because you guys are making that effort on a regular basis to go that 4 hours down to other tournaments. And now people will come up to yours and fill it up that fast. That's what you want to see in the community, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's funny whenever people are up here, they're like, whenever we feel like it's long and we're like 3 hours in, or we just say to ourselves, Alicia and Thomas do this every weekend. It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy
So-
to be that motivation, get to
Yeah.
that last leg.
So are you on the board? Do you have a title, a position?
Yeah. So both Thomas Hums and I are presidents of the
Okay.
Nickel City Golf Club. Yeah, we started just a separate club from the club involved with the Lions Club, as we wanted to be a registered not-for-profit organization to apply for some community tourism development funding and some grants to sort of assist in our process. So ourselves with Dan Gamsby, another buddy, are sort of the three directors of that club. And then we've got some other amazing folks on board. Brandon McBain, who's our tournament director, Devin Cole, who's helping us acquire sponsorships and things. So we've got a solid team of people and lots of volunteers ready to get their hands dirty on May 10th and 11th.
Yes.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. It's so good to hear and to see that growth. We know we have a really strong disc golf group in Edmonton as well. And when you can see that happen, that's how the courses get built, and having people join those and record their UDisc rounds and have all that information that the group can show to the city and show to the towns and say, this is why we need more courses. And it's awesome to see that you guys are doing that. So,
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I always say, like, I want more disc golf courses in Sudbury, not because I want to like maintain more golf courses. It's because I want to play more. So please help us. We need all the help we can get.
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, if we move on to just growing disc golf a little bit, we talk about how to grow the sport. And a lot of times we say, the grassroots way is introduce a friend or bring mom and dad out, and hopefully they tell someone and they catch the bug like that. But another way to do it is by getting youth involved in the sport. So being that you do have a connection on the teaching side and stuff, have you had a chance to work with students and bring it to the school and get them involved in disc golf?
Yes, yeah. So a little bit. So the school that I'm teaching at is a youth corrections facility. So unfortunately, my students cannot leave to participate in disc golf tournaments.
Yeah.
But we do what we call Feel Good Fridays on Fridays, where we usually do a student teacher sporting activity to just sort of promote, healthy active living and well-being with the students. And so during the winter, we have to do a lot of student versus teacher volleyball games, but we teachers need some volleyball coaching.
Yeah.
But happy to say, my disc golf skills do pull through when we do bring out disc golf. So in the spring and fall, we have 6 tent baskets that we are able to set up in the space behind the school.
Great.
We do like a doubles where a teacher partners up with a student, and we get to play that. It's like they're all beginners, and there's a lot of turnover with our students, so we don't often have the same ones that play more than once. But because of that, we've got putters for everyone. They're like all about 150 feet or so, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah. That's
You
awesome.
look at those kids that are, kind of how I was before I was into disc golf. They were like, I don't want to throw a disc. I don't want to try this. And then every single time they're like, that was so much fun. Thank you so much for teaching me. Can we do it again? So
Oh,
That's great.
yeah, that's so positive. And,
Yeah.
and also too, probably in the situation, like you said, with the corrective nature of it, maybe having that doubles where you have the teacher and the student that gives you kind of a one-on-one situation. Do you find that helps with the teaching and the recovery and all of that stuff?
absolutely. What right, it's a boys youth correction facility, and I don't want to just apply stereotypes, but teenage boys often like to posture in front of their peers. So when we can break them into smaller groups, we tend to have more success. And then once we do it once and they realize, oh, Mrs. Hums, like she's pretty good. Like she's not just obsessed with it, she's actually good at it too.
Yeah.
Then they're like, okay, I want to be your partner.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think too, like we were noticing that PDGA or PDGA Canada, they've actually put together a grant program that you can apply for with the schools and stuff. So I think if there are other teachers out there listening and that type of thing, is keep that in mind, because it's a great way to introduce kids to it, and they'll probably be able to maybe get some funds your way for baskets or for discs or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah, that's sort of something I'm hoping to do next academic year, is sort of do some outreach to the other schools, because as great as it is to have this with my students, and we'll continue doing that, it would be great to get some more youth involved in our local club. We've got a couple, but yeah, like we said, that's sort of grassroots. That's what, if you really want to see growth and like long-term growth, we want to get those young kids in. So yeah, looking at doing that. I know that OFSAS, or our Ontario secondary school sporting organization, does have a disc golf tournament every year.
Okay.
So it would be really cool if we could, even if it's like 12 kids from every school in the board, if we could build a team to bring to that, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Going back to the type of institute that you teach in, do you find that teaching them disc golf or having them play disc golf, do you think that teaches them any sort of particular type of skills? Like, is there any translation that you can use there?
Oh yeah, well, we talk about how disc golf is just good for our mental health and well-being, and just like focusing on the moment and learning from our mistakes, or when we are frustrated. Oh yeah, yes, like Sonia said. Awesome, yeah. If like right, like, okay, let's not freak out because we have a 30-foot putt and that feels hard. Let's like go through our emotions, let's do some breathing, let's work on
Yeah.
our mindfulness, and let's try and make that putt. And if we don't make it, what are we going to do differently next time? Which is probably things I say to myself when I'm
Yeah, I think we can all take that life lesson.
It
just
isn't specific to one person,
No,
right?
exactly.
It's
No.
universal.
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
Well, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, if we can go a little further into your season and kind of what you've got planned for 2025, and it looks like you've kind of already started your season, and it started in the best way possible with a win at the Kings Forest Open. And it looked like you and Colleen McInnes had a bit of a battle to the finish on that.
We did. It was close. It's always fun when you're close like that, when it's not just a runaway. It was I knew I was doing well. I wasn't really checking the scores. I was like, okay, we were kind of, because we were on the same card, we were kind of going stroke for stroke. But then on hole 17, it's like an elevated hanging basket, and the winds every year are like 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. And I had like a circle's edge putt for birdie, and she was probably 20 feet, and I was I was like hemming and hawing. I knew, so that's when I pulled out my phone. I'm like, okay, yeah, I have 2 on her, but I'm like, oh, she's gonna get this birdie. Okay, I think that I am gonna give this a soft bid. I'm like so afraid. So I gave it a soft bid. It kind of hit, I think, just the bottom of the cage and fortunately sat. And then unfortunately for Colleen, hers actually chained out, so she didn't make the birdie. And I'm never cheering against my opponents. I love to see them doing well, but I would be lying if I said I didn't have a sigh of relief knowing I was going into the last hole with 2 strokes. The last hole is a super great par 5. You've got sort of 2 potential gaps to shoot down off the tee. One, you're sort of carrying OB and you're looking for like a right hand Annie backhand into the fairway, or you can kind of hyzer through the other way. I always just play that safe hyzer shot. But then after that, you sort of have like a layup before a couple bunkers and the green. So I had actually had, it was so funny, I laughed, the best tee shot where I was like, I could run the green. Like, I don't think I need to lay up to these bunkers. It's like, don't do it. You don't have to. And so Colleen played the hole really well as well. She practically parked it for her birdie, and I was like relieved. I knew that I didn't need the birdie to win the tournament. And so I intentionally went a bit long on my approach just to make sure I wasn't short in those bunkers and just laid up for my par. So it ended up having 1 stroke there at the end.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a great way to start a year, right?
Yeah.
Having a win in your
Yeah,
pocket.
exactly. And especially having that, that game plan and that, like the ability to stick to it. Like
Yes.
you could have tried to make the green or you could have tried to push it, but you knew what you needed to do. Do you check scores much? Like, are you a score checker, a score watcher?
I'm usually aware. I almost always know what I'm shooting, whether I'm checking the score or not.
Right.
For the most part. Not a ton. I don't want to say I don't look, but I'm not like every hole I'm not checking it. So usually I want to say the last 5 holes or so I'll be checking it. I usually have my phone out. I'm following my MPO span.
Yeah.
So I'll have my phone out. Yeah. But I've gone back and forth. I've kind of done everything. There was one point where I would check it every single hole. And then I got to a point where I was like, no, that is making me more nervous. I need to just play my game. Who cares? Like focus on me and what I'm doing. And that was good. But then that actually hole 18 and hole 17 was sort of the perfect example, I think, of when it's important to be aware of what's going on and knowing when to make the right call. Like, should I be laying this up? Should I be running it? So when I know it's close like that, we're coming up to the last few holes, I'll definitely check it a little more often.
I think that's probably the difference between us, because I never check scores. I'm the same as what we were thinking in the early part of that conversation, where I think if you just play your game, concentrate on your game, whatever happens around you, you're going to finish where you finish just because you played your best game.
Mm-hmm.
But we're never going to be in that situation where we're going to be battling for first or second and having to know that we have to check the scorecards to know how it's going to feel, to know whether you can lay up or push for it. So I think we're okay there.
Not
Jeremy.
quite yet.
Not yet. Okay.
They never.
That's right. See, positive attitude. Come on.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that's awesome for what happened at Kings Forest Open. And then this just past weekend, you were down at the Project 15 Open and finished 3rd place against some of the best FPOs in Ontario. Tell us how the weekend went from your perspective on that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll start with checking scores just because we're there. It was so fun watching Rebecca and Alex battle it out. I had looked, and same thing, I think I had a couple of strokes on Colleen, and I was like, okay, I knew what holes I was playing, and it was like, pars are what I'm hoping for. These are like, birdies are not my play. And I was getting my pars, so I wasn't even looking. I'm like, if Colleen gets 2 birdies, then we tie for 3rd. Awesome. I'm like, it's like, I wasn't really checking. I was like, those 2 are like light years ahead of me. I'm not catching them. All I can do is par. So it is what it is. But yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, I can't really complain. Third is awesome with a really, really good group of players, and 30 points above my rating both rounds. It's hard to, like, what can you say, right? But I definitely had some putting yips, which sucked a lot. So I was like super nervous where I would like kind of tense up, and then I was going too quickly and I was moving my arm faster than my body. So I was pulling them.
Okay.
And they were like really easy putts that honestly I think I was overthinking. Like I shouldn't have even been thinking about them. They were just tap-ins.
Right.
So I embarrassingly had 3 putt a hole round 1 and round 2, which is 6 strokes right there.
Yeah.
You know, you can't think that way. I'm sure Rebecca and Alex are thinking the same thing about their game. And so there were some putting woes, but overall, I was pretty pleased with the way I was playing. Going into the event, I was super nervous for my approach game. I actually took a lot of time off this winter for the first time since I started playing tournaments.
Okay.
And honestly, when I started playing tournaments, I have been playing pretty much every single day. There's like been a maybe 3-day break here or there, and that's it. It's
Wow.
it has just consumed me.
Yeah.
But this past November, I was playing just casual soccer, and I actually hurt my knee. And walking in the snow really hurt. Like it was too much movement. So I was really only playing at my putting league that I run weekly, and we managed to get some indoor dome space where I could practice technique and things. So I was nervous for my approach game because I'm like, I've been practicing like my drives and my throwing technique and trying to figure out how to make that look pretty so I don't hate every photo of me that I see.
I know that feeling.
No, really, I'm like, so I can make it more consistent was really the goal this off season. I shot some really hot rounds last season, but had some really not hot rounds. And so I'm like, okay, how can I make this more consistent? And just really dialing in my form was the goal this winter. Yeah. But with that, I hadn't played a ton of disc golf, minus those 2 Midland road trips we took. So I was nervous for the approach game, and I was super happy with it. Like overall, I was getting there. There were a couple shots I can recall where the card is like, nice shot, Alicia, like 200 feet out and just pinning it. You're like,
Oh, good.
yeah, that's what you want. So there are lots of good things if we just forget about those few.
Yeah, always look on the positives.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like, that is that difference, Alicia, is you seem like you're very dialed into your play in that, where you knew exactly what was going wrong with your putt. The next step is how do we control it? But I think sometimes Daryl and I, like we say, well, we know how to putt, but then when it goes wrong, we're like, it went high. I don't know why it went high, or it went left. I don't know why, but it seems like you have that dialed in. So I think that's a really good thing, because it will probably help you reduce the yips a lot quicker than maybe you and I can do that. Hey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my big thing with my throw and my putt, I always like to go, and people, if you ask them, would probably tell you like, oh yeah, she putts really fast. Like it's like a fast stroke.
Okay.
Chill out, girl. Yes, you're playing an FPO. Yes, you want to be competitive, but like this is fun. You're supposed to be having fun. Just relax. And so I think that sort of the tournament nerves got to me a little bit this past weekend, where I was not so chill.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
So talking about this weekend and the course itself, we've heard a lot of good things about Project 15, and I know we can't wait to get out there in nationals and play it this year as well. Now, for a couple of amateurs like us, do you have any pro tips for us about the course? Anything that we can look forward to?
Absolutely. The course is phenomenal. I could go on, and Gabe knows I do go on and on about his course. I tell everyone they just need to play this course. It's so beautiful and so well maintained. Gabe makes it look like it's naturally there. Like it just looks like it fits into the space perfectly. And I know that is not like, I know that there's a ton of work that goes into the space to make it that way. When you've got wooded courses where almost every fairway is lined with trees, but is like wide enough where you feel like you can breathe and you're not afraid of going off. it's just so picturesque. My first time there, I don't know what I did more of, taking pictures or playing disc golf.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's got to be a good thing to look forward to.
Oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a nice course. So because most of the fairways are lined with trees, my advice for anyone on any wooded course, honestly, is disc down, throw the putter, throw the mid, throw something that isn't going to get a ton of left and right movement, and stay in the fairway. When you're off the fairway, it's tough. A pitch out is adding a stroke. If you're in the middle, but you're 50 feet shorter than your driver, it doesn't matter because you can throw another disc. You can throw your mid range again. You can throw your putter again without having to pitch out.
That's great advice.
It is. It's hard sometimes to be. It's hard to be that disciplined, right? Everybody wants to get the longest distance off the tee, but like you said, if you're going to take an extra stroke by pitching out, but being 30, 40 yards short, shorter. Yeah.
And you've said it to us in some of our conversations before. It's like if you throw 200-foot throws as opposed to a 300 and a 100, where the 300 has a good chance of going into the trees, why wouldn't you? You're achieving the same goal.
Exactly.
Yeah. So good tip.
Exactly.
Thank you.
It's all good to say this, but when you're standing there on the tee and you're like, I can make that gap, I can throw it down there.
Well, Alicia will be
There's
checking.
my flippy driver.
I was gonna say, you'll be checking our cards in September and going, did they listen to me?
Yeah.
Did they listen to me?
That was a driver. I know it.
That was a double bogey. That was a triple bogey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with
no,
that,
it's
yeah, I was to say, so you've got those 2 tournaments kind of under the belt and you've put them there, but you've already packed your 2025 schedule right to the brim, it looks like. And there's a lot of good tournaments we saw on that list. Is there any one in particular that you're looking forward to?
yeah. For the first, so 2 years ago when we started tournaments, it was like, okay, we had done 2 years of only Ontario. Last year, we're like, okay, we'll travel stateside, and we did a couple stateside. This year, we've got a couple stateside, and then we're also going out to BC for the BC Open.
Right.
So I'm very excited for that. I've heard phenomenal things about the courses, and my brother lives out there, so we're gonna hop on his couch for the week. Get some fun family time in there. So that's sort of one that I'm looking forward to for a variety of reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we had highlighted that one too, because of course, being out west, we saw, anytime someone from the west goes out east, we're excited. Anytime someone from the east comes out west. So if you have your brother out there, have you had a chance to go and play disc golf out there before, or has it always just been out to visit him?
He's actually this is his 3rd year out there. So I, like the horrible sister, have not made it out yet. Come back here, visit us.
Yeah.
So yeah, this will be my first time out in BC ever.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're gonna love it, and we know that.
Bring your camera.
Yeah, bring your camera for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also too know is that, our Western FPOs are Sophia, Gabby, Julie, Terry, Amber, that are all in there. We saw they're registered. They're going to love having you come out and be part of that competition, because sometimes in those conversations we've had with them, they'll say, we traveled all the way from Alberta to BC to go play in this tournament, and then we all end up on the same card anyway. So we just traveled 13 hours to play together again.
Yeah, no, that is one of the things I love about tournaments in general. We have a pretty small female scene here in Sudbury, so it's always fun to just be on a card with all ladies. It's exciting. So yeah, no, I think most of us follow each other on Instagram. We see all of each other's adventures, so it'll be a ton of fun to actually play with these ladies and see them in person. Yeah, meet them. Try not to fangirl.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of the competition, I'm sure that you, Colleen, Kat, Chantel have all been competing against each other for years now. But now, you mentioned her, both of them a little bit earlier on. Now you've got Alexandra Paletto and Rebecca Dawn as well in the mix. How has it been watching those two FPOs on the cards?
it's so much fun. Like I said, watching them on at P15 on Saturday was a blast. And probably because I was like, oh, I'm not catching them, and this is where I am. So I was like, but they're just so consistent. Alex throws so far, and I have not stopped talking about Rebecca's putting since the tournament. It was unbelievable. I don't think she missed a putt inside the circle, and they're dead center and hearted every single time. And her circle 2 bids look just as good. She lost by 1 stroke, and she chained out from circle 2 for like that par to push a playoff.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, the fact that she can even make that putt, like the nerves and what must be going, like what could be going on in someone's head is it's awesome. It's fun, and it pushes our game. I jumped into the FPO scene pretty early. I played one FA1 tournament local. There were 4 of us, I believe, and I ended up winning. And I was like, I guess I'll try FPO. And I definitely donated for a little bit, but I think it helped me sort of push my game and see skilled players, see, you know, what I can aspire to do. And that's sort of where our Ontario FPO scene is at right now, where anyone I think can walk away with it any weekend, which is really exciting. That Colleen's a phenomenal disc golfer, and she's sort of been the Ontario FPO disc golfer for a while. And even like my first couple of years, like it was like Colleen's gonna win. So not that I want to see Colleen lose, but it's kind of fun to see like, hey, we're all in the mix. Like, yes, I too can beat Colleen sometimes, right? Like it's fun to just see all of us growing and developing together.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Alex so much, but Rebecca is just 17, I think, 17, 18. So what a bright future she's got, right? She's already on Team Innova. She just went down to, you know,
GGPT events.
I forget which event it was, but she cashed in one of the events down there, I think. Open at Austin. Yeah, she's amazing.
It was funny. I remember last year at some tournament, she had made like a silly shot and messed up, and she was like, oh yeah, be jealous. Like that was good. Like jokingly, I was like, Rebecca, I'm always jealous of you. I wish I found this sport when I was your age. Like,
yes, we all do.
It got real quick.
Well, no, and that's great to hear that you're pushing each other, because we did have Kat Johnson on not that long ago, and she had said that the group of players you have in FPO, and we've heard it a number of times, is it's just, if we could choose a card to be on, the MPOs are fine, but they tend to get too competitive and they start trash talking each other and stuff like that, whereas the FPO cards feel like it's the vibe that matches the MA40 vibe for us. So it's good to know that the 2 new people to the group, you know, of course they're out there killing it, but at least they fit in, and it's a good group of people out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. We're actually Alex and her boyfriend Chris both disc golf, and they're one of the awesome community members that often hosts us when we're down in Toronto. And the one time we were watching the knot coverage, Alex and I were both on it. It's the Northern Ontario Championship, and Chris was like, do you guys always cheer after every shot? Is this real, or are you just doing this because there were cameras? Like, oh, I guess we do that. Like, it just kind of happens, like, right? We're just excited when you make a shot or you make your putt or whatever it is.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
Got those good vibes.
Well, Alicia, we do have a little bit of advice and tips for your BC Open trip. So you're going to get a chance to play Raptors Knoll, which is one of the best courses in Canada. Chris Hartman, Stuart McKissick, they designed it. It's an awesome course. We've heard so much. We've seen so much coverage on it.
Yeah.
The signature hole has a green shaped like a raptor with mountains in the background. And from what we hear, it is a tougher hole because the raptor green, it's actually an island. It's just something to keep in mind. But Daryl, speaking about islands.
Speaking of islands.
You've taken a relaxing cruise, however the ship goes down. You manage to swim to an island, and fortunately for you, there's an 18-hole disc golf course. Which 3 discs are you taking with you on the island?
You know, I never get tired of those segues, Jeremy. Every week I try and see where you're going and how you're going to get there, but you always get there in the end.
Well, thank you.
So this is the part of the podcast. Yeah, exactly. So this is the part of the podcast where we go on this fictitious island. You went down on the cruise, you grabbed your trusty bag, you had 3 discs in it, you swim to the island. Which 3 discs are you taking with you?
Okay, I'm always ready.
Oh, this is good.
We love that.
There you go.
I have to. Okay, 3-disc round, all TSA because TSA is the best. Everyone should throw TSA. This is my putter, the one that even I stick with even when I have yucky putting yips. My thought space alter, nerve alter.
Right.
I know TSA did just release some awesome firm nerve, but I've always been like a soft putter, so this is not the firm, it's just a regular nerve.
Okay.
It's beautiful, love it. There's my putter. We'll go slightly faster. Pathfinder, you could give it to me in any plastic and I'd be happy, but this is my glow pathy that's in my bag / on my person at all times.
Yes.
There's my mid. And my newest disco session is the Parallel Expanse, also
Okay.
from
Oh.
Discraft Meet TSA. So much fun. It's effortless distance for me, fairly straight but reliable. If I throw it into a headwind, as long as it's on hyzer, it won't burn over for me. It will hold straight with a mild finish.
Right.
And it just makes me feel like I can throw far even when sometimes discs say otherwise.
Right?
So that expanse, is that the new one by Discraft?
Yeah.
Yeah. So oh gosh, I'm so bad at flight numbers. 11 something -22.
I think it's
believe.
I think it's 11.5 -22. Yeah,
Okay.
from what I
Yeah.
remember. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Nerve Alter,
Alter. Yeah.
Pathfinder, Glow, any plastic is fine, and then your expanse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm with Alicia on that
Yeah.
because the Pathfinder for me, I do throw a lot of MVP Axiom, so I've got a hex, but I've also always got a Pathfinder on me too because I just like the finish on it, and it's just so consistent when you throw it. It's such a good disc.
and what about your
Yeah,
driver?
it's
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay. So
still shopping.
yeah, exactly. So the second part to this that we've also added, if you could take one course to be transported to this island, that's the only course you get to play from now until you get rescued. Which course would you take with you?
Oh, that's fun. I do when I talk about my favorite courses, and I know we just played it, I do talk about P15.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. There's some open shots, there's some woods, there's some tighter technical shots. Yeah, I think P15 usually makes my top. I'm just like, everyone needs to play P15. Just
Nice.
you
Yeah.
have to. So let's
Yeah.
do it.
That's great.
However, we hear so much about it, and Alicia's just
Exactly.
like leveled it up to another.
I know.
If it was possible, ratcheted it up.
Hopefully I'm not setting the bar too high here. Lower your expectations. It's
Well,
great.
it's not just you that we've heard it from. We've heard it from quite a few people that have said that P15 is one of their favorite courses. So
Yeah.
a lot of people can't be wrong.
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's right.
So
The masses know.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And Alicia, we're glad you were able to join us tonight. But before we let you go, want to give you a chance to shout out some sponsors, maybe, or also, I don't know if there's anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to cover, but we could do that now too.
Yeah. I do have to say I saw I have to shout out Jerry Ann Brownbridge because she interviewed me for TSA when I first applied to their ambassador program, and she commented on your Facebook post about me joining you folks tonight and said, when is Alicia gonna join? Go play down on the pro tour. So I don't have an actual answer for her, but I like I said, this year we're going out to BC, so maybe that's next year's new adventure. But I
There you go.
appreciate the support from her, so I gotta show her out.
Yeah.
Sure.
So then, yeah. So, but then on that note, I've got to thank my sponsors who support me every step of the way. And, kind of give you that confidence and that extra support when you need it. So shout out to Thought Space Athletics, who in my opinion make the best discs, and you should throw them in the bag. Clearly my top 3 discs are their discs. You can't go wrong. I actually did him and Ha about I have a pretty sweet Animus that I'm really loving right now. So that was my potential driver as well. But the expanse won it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then Disc Republic has been supporting me these last 2 seasons, and they're just awesome. They have anything and everything disc golf that you need. Please use code Alicia when you check out there to support my season. Appreciate all the support there. And Circle One Apparel has been repping me. They were with me from the very beginning. I'm so happy to continue with them this season. I'm wearing them on and off the course. They have awesome waffle towels. They've got discs, you name it. And also, you can use code 191823, which is my PDGA number, to save a bit when you check out there.
Cool. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, that's awesome. And Daryl kind of was mentioning it. I know where you were getting at when we were talking about the Pathfinder, is that for me in my bag, my furthest flying disc, and both Daryl and this feels like boasting, but I don't mean it to be boasting. We both oohed and awed over some of my drives with it, is my Thought Space Mantra.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I've actually got 3 of them now. And one of them is a Karen Martell signed one. And I think her signature on it just makes it fly that much better. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And my question to you is there any chance maybe in the future I could get an Alicia Hums Thought Space Mantra? Are you going to have some discs at some point?
Yeah, definitely something the last couple of years I've been hemming and hawing about it. I don't know why I haven't just like jumped on with TSA and been like, hey guys, let's do this. But definitely something to look for sooner than later.
All right.
There you go.
I'm excited.
Discs fly better.
Yes.
And sign discs just like that a little bit further.
Yeah. The way we've worded it is we said you need to buy 2 because Daryl likes to put a signed disc behind him. But I think that the discs just fly better because now another player has signed it and another player who's much better than me. So I've got them supporting me when I go to throw it. So if you see a throw that you didn't think I was supposed to do at P15, it was probably because I thought I had a little extra help from
Yeah.
the signature on my disc.
It's just like rubbing the luck onto it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
there we go.
No, that's awesome. Well, we appreciate it, Alicia. We're looking forward to seeing you out there at Nationals, and we'll just be waiting, counting the days till we get out there. Hey,
That's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
So many great people to meet.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast. And yeah, Nationals. It'll be here before we know it.
I know, right? We got a whole season ahead of us, but it will really feel like we've blinked our eyes and it's here.
Well,
We're
that's
on a
it, right?
plane.
You don't want to always be looking at the horizon because you miss what's right in front of you. So let's take it event by event, but we know it's coming. We
Yeah.
know we're excited for it as well.
One putt at a time.
Ah,
There you go.
spoken like a true Puttendor house member.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for your time, Alicia. We'll see you sometime this year.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Thanks.
Okay, bye. Daryl, I think that was probably the most lighthearted and fun interview we've had in a while that way. She's just
We've done a lot of laughing.
She's got a lot of laughing and I love it. That's another great Canadian FPO.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, as we said, is that the A-tier fantasy picks are going to be coming up soon. Those shows starting with Foxwood, and then we've also got
Spring
Runoff coming up. And I believe Alicia's playing Foxwood. I think she's there. So yeah, I don't know. Are you getting her first or am I? I guess it depends who picks first. Hey?
Yeah, we'll see what happens this year with who goes first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you want to tease anything at this point about that? Get people's excited for.
Well, we talked about it on the Around the Basket last week.
Yeah.
So for those who you don't know, last year we ran a fantasy A tier, covered all the A tiers. We modify. It's not like a true like a pick 'em or a pick six or whatever sort of thing.
Right.
We did pick 3 MPOs, 3 FPOs. We did it snake draft. It was me, you, and we had a rotating guest every week. And then after the episode, like you said, on the Chain Out, after the event on the Chain Out podcast, we interviewed the TD and the winning FPO and MPO from that event.
Mm-hmm.
This year, I'm trying to take it up a level. I've been working with a
one level.
Working, yeah,
taking up one
level, a couple levels. I mean, I'm looking into the future as well. There's plans that I have, but I don't want to get too far ahead in one season.
Could we say that last year we had the ability that you could pick your own team, but you had to do it in the comments?
We did say that. We would. So what would happen is we would put our 3 teams out on Instagram, and we would let everybody vote on who had the winning team or who had the best team,
Which will still
and
do
then
that,
it was
right?
it was valued as a point. What was that?
Will we still do that?
We might do that.
All right.
Yeah. Well, there may be a way to do it in the new app that we're
What?
working on.
Did you just say
It's a web-based app, but it's
app
still
is
an app.
in application?
Application, yeah. So what we're trying to do last year, like I said, it was pre-recorded. It was me, you, the guest. We made our picks. That was it. We put them out. We encouraged you to put down your own teams in the comment section.
Mhm.
But this year, there hopefully is going to be a way for everyone to participate as well. You can click on the you'll be able to see all the 11 or maybe even more this year, 14 I think, 8 tiers across Canada. You'll be able to make your picks. You'll be right there on the leaderboard with the rest of us.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exciting.
And you'll be able to see not just for one tournament. Hopefully, they'll be able to see how they're doing for the whole 8-tier season.
Yeah, no,
a
absolutely. The whole
accumulation.
season will have
Yeah.
a leaderboard. Yeah.
So watch for that. That'll be coming.
Scoring is
again.
going to be a little bit different this year, but I'm excited for it.
Oh man, we're just gonna have to do an episode just about everything that's coming with the fantasy.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. But thank you everybody for listening this long. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so now. That helps us out. It really helps us grow the channel and gets us to give you more giveaways. You can also follow us on Instagram. You can like our stuff. You can click the bell on YouTube. You can comment. You can do all of those things. It just helps bring more attention to the podcast, which means more things we can do for you. And if you've already done all that and you want to support us further, you can check out our link tree and buy us a beer. We always like that. That's a one-time help that you can do. Or you can check out our Patreon. We have many levels, including a free level. And we encourage you to do that even at the free level, because what it'll do is it'll get you access to the code that gets you to our live Patreon episodes that come after the Chain Out episodes.
The link. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think we got that there. And normally Around the Basket would happen in about 15 minutes and it would be Around the Basket. But tonight we're doing something different.
Yeah.
It's still kind of an Around the Basket Patreon thing, but we are going to be doing next week's interview tonight. So if you want to be live with us tonight, asking your questions, do all those things, you can. We'll be coming on live next week at the beginning, doing a live intro, playing the interview, doing a live outro, and maybe another little thing up our sleeve we're working on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm interested for that.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. But take a look at it. But kind of as we're ending this, you know, Daryl, you know, you get to a great course like this brand new course out in Sudbury with these 2 twin stacks.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think we're going to do out there? Got
Well,
any
by that
ideas?
time,
Yeah.
I'm reckoning that we probably do have a Alicia Hum stamped expanse.
Oh, an expanse.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get the new one.
5 minus 2, if that's
Yeah,
the numbers.
exactly. Going to be a nice driver. It's going to be on a relatively short hole.
Yeah. Not a tree course, because we would never do that. She just told us not to do that.
No, we're not going to
Well,
rip.
this is a hole without trees on this
It's
side.
going to be on. Yeah, we're
okay.
wide open. We're going to be able to make it to the basket in one. So it's going to
In
be
one?
with the expanse.
Yeah.
It's going to take that nice S flight. It's going to drift down the fairway. It's going to drift to the right. You're going to think it's going to be going wide. That reliable 2 fades is going to pull it right back.
Gotcha.
It's going to have the nice height as well. It's going to hit those chains.
Is it?
Yeah. But because it's signed by Alicia Hums,
Well, there's one thing.
it would never do.
It could never possibly.
Of course it wouldn't.
Chain out.
Thanks, everybody.